Demon football coach Brad Laird, whose team is just about to get to the 1/3 point of spring practice. Fifth practice tomorrow. Coach Laird, first in full pads. Tell us what to look for and what you've seen so far.
Well, through four practices, two of those with shoulder pads on. What we're seeing in all three phases is we're still learning. I've loved the tempo of practice. I've loved the energy that we've had through four practices. And like I told them, it's easy to do it early. It's how do we become consistent doing that as we continue to learn new schemes in all three phases. And that's what we're doing. And the ability tomorrow morning to be in a full pad situation, first live situation that we've had this spring. It won't be a full scrimmage. It'll be a practice, but have some live team snaps. It'll be good to be put in those situations. Hadn't been put in those situations since back in November, and especially with new schemes. You still do see some thinking, and that will continue as we continue to learn the schemes in all three phases. But really have enjoyed the energy and tempo that our guys have come to practice with.
Is there a bigger learning curve on either side of the ball, defensively, offensively, in terms of the schematic changes, or is it pretty much wholesale on both sides?
It is. I mean, it's new terminology across the board, offense, defense, and special teams. So when you talk about what the players are having to adapt and learn to, it's pretty much the same in all three phases. The thing that we want to stress to be consistent is throughout our practices, learning to take the meeting room onto the field, and that's what we're trying to do now as we enter day 5.
Work rate of your team, how do you grade that so far?
It's been good. I tell you, I can't complain about their work ethic, the mindset that they've come with. I think the biggest thing that we've talked about is taking what they're learning in the meeting room and walkthroughs and taking that into a team segment, because that's where you see, because the tempo is fast on both sides of the ball. When you have to think a little bit, it takes away from from some of the continuity that we want right now, but we'll continue to get that.
Everybody always looks at a football team, the first position they want to talk about, no matter what team it is, no matter what the situation is quarterback. And you've added a transfer from Trinity Valley, where your new offensive coordinator, Brad Smiley, came from. You've got veteran quarterbacks back. I'm sure there's a lot of competition there.
No doubt. And Coach Selfo first has done a great job with those guys as them understanding the impact that they're going to have throughout this football team. And, you look at Kenny Sears and Caleb Fletcher and Shelton Epler and Clay Holgerson that are battling for the job. And what you see is those guys are they're fun to watch because they're helping each other. They are, because they are learning a new scheme. I guess you could say Shelton Epler knows a little bit more about the scheme because of playing under Brad Smiley there at Trinity Valley. But you see those guys really working together in the meeting room, during individual work, during teamwork. They're constantly learning, constantly talking, constantly helping each other. And that's what I want to see, because the competition brings the best in all of us, and we got competition at all positions on the team, and yes, we're going to look at that quarterback position just like everybody else is, because it's a big impact on this football team. But they're doing a great job in helping each other, and that's the thing that I wanted to see throughout this competition.
All right, you hit practice 5 tomorrow. You point toward the end of the first half of practice next Thursday night. Talk about the progression that you want to see beginning tomorrow morning, going toward the major scrimmage on Thursday night.
No doubt. First time in full pads tomorrow, live reps. You want to see consistency and improvement, because we're going to continue to install in all three phases. Tomorrow, practice 5. Next Tuesday, practice 6. And then finishing, like you said, with the scrimmage on Thursday night, which we're going to put it all together. And that's really what we're building towards, is that scrimmage Thursday night. But along the way, you want to see consistency and improvement, not just schematically, but also individually.
And I know that you're going to be pleased that you do this in the morning, and there's all sorts of things to do in the afternoon. Tennis, softball, baseball right here. Imagine you're going to dip your feet in all of it, aren't you?
I tell you, what a weekend we got. Starting tonight with baseball and softball. We had the Long Purple Line induction, just great inductees into one of the highest honors bestowed of a Northwestern State graduate. And then Saturday morning with a little football, and then Saturday afternoon with a little baseball and softball. I tell you, it's a great weekend in Natchitoches and a great weekend at Northwestern State.